Good Erev Shabbos, everybody. We shared the amazing news yesterday, the exciting news that we are taking the next step in our journey towards reopening, the next phase of the process of gathering again in some format. While we know it's not ideally what we love about PJC, it's going to miss some of the critical elements of what our community is, but nevertheless, it's such a significant moment. It's such an exciting step for us to be able to gather and daven with each other. How much have I missed? How much have we missed, whether we realize it or not, praying with each other in our group, in our kehillah? I wanted to share a short idea on Parshat Behaalotcha. It's a very, very packed, wonderful parsha. I know many educators find it to be the most special parsha in the Torah for a number of reasons. One of the small mitzvot that are commanded in this parsha was the command to Moshe Rabbeinu to create these silver trumpets, these chatzotzrot. In Hebrew, they're called chatzotzrot. These trumpets were used for a multiplicity of functions, but the primary function was to be able to tell the Jewish people when they were going to travel through the midbar, through the desert. And so Moshe was instructed to make these chatzotzrot. Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch wants to know, he wants to understand, what is the word chatzotzrot? Where does that word come from? And he suggests that the word chatzotzrot is related to the word chatzer, related to the word courtyard. What is a courtyard? It's a front garden. It's a space that we all gather to play and to enjoy each other's company. Chatzer is a central, personalized gathering space. What was the job? What was the role of the chatzotzrot? The primary function was to gather the Jewish people so that they can continue their journey, so that they can move as one. You know, Moshe was instructed to build these chatzotzrot, to make them so that they can function as a trumpet. And he was told he has to make them out of one sheet of silver. You couldn't put multiple parts together. It needs to be one unified sheet. Because the message of the chatzotzrot was unity. The message of the chatzotzrot was being unified. And so it would have been inconsistent if they were made out of many parts. Think about the message that we sent out yesterday, that we're gathering together. It feels like a chatzotzrot message. My friends, we are on a journey. God is trying to tell us something. And the challenge is, do we hear the blow of the trumpet telling us we're on a journey, we're moving somewhere, we're heading in a united manner towards a destination? And so we will begin gathering next Shabbat. It won't be the same PJC we know and we love. It'll be different, and in Mirza Hashem, we will get to that PJC. But we have to hear that shofar cry. We have to hear the trumpet instruct us to get up and start this journey towards whatever recovery looks like. You know, to think that we as a community have not in person gathered for months, it's a certain amount of trepidation that one feels in starting the process. You know, I reflect on the past months being a rabbi during this whole experience, and I was sharing with some of my rabbinic colleagues that one of the challenges, one of the things that I feel has been so challenging is remaining connected as a community, remaining connected to each other, is my remaining connected to each of you. I've tried, but it doesn't feel adequate. Feels like it's missing. And so while the chatzotzrot give us instructions to get up, to get ready, to move, there is also some solace to be found. There's some relief to be found in the fact that the chatzotzrot are instructing us to be together once more. You know, the chatzotzrot were used for many functions, not only for travel. They were also used to tell the Jewish people that Shabbat was starting. And so we have our journey that unites us, and we have our time, Shabbat, that unites us. I pray that the opportunity that we have in the weeks and the months ahead are deliberate, are thoughtful, are united. It feels big. It feels like a big moment. One of the things I do want to highlight, one of the challenges we have had as a community for a long time, for as long as I've been part of this community, for the last 3 years, our community has grown exponentially. We're now approximately 150 member families, member units. When I came, it was 100 member units. So to grow from 100 to 150 is an extraordinary growth. When I said to one of my colleagues that I feel inadequate in the fact that I haven't been regularly in touch with everyone, I feel saddened about the distance between myself and each of you, he said, Yechiel, you're the fastest growing shul in the country. Of course it's going to be a challenge. I hope that it's not only a statement that is true about our community, that we're fastest growing in numbers, but we're also the fastest growing in intentionality. We're the fastest growing in spirituality. We're the fastest growing in desire to be close to each other, in desire to be close to Hashem. The instruction of the chatzotzrot, of the trumpets, was for the Jewish people to get up and go on this journey together. I hope and I pray that we will get up, we will head back to shul in the ways that are appropriate for now and in the dynamic ways that are going to be appropriate in the future weeks and months. And we will pray together for each other, with each other, knowing that we have a unifying cry, we have a unifying destination. I do want to share that the challenge of growing from 100 to 150 members is an extraordinary one. And people getting to know each other is challenging. Since we don't have the opportunity to share Shabbat table with each other, I've launched a new initiative called People of PJC. It's an audio series of conversations that I have with different couples, different people in our community, different families in our community. And so far I've done 4, and they've been quite extraordinary. Each one, there's a big surprise in each one, something that I learned new about each family. And so I share with you in this email the first 4 in the series of People of PJC. Your fellow congregants that you didn't know were famous guitarists, that you didn't know had an extraordinary collection of an extraordinary hobby. I don't want to ruin any of the surprises, but so I invite you to participate. I invite you to give me feedback on People of PJC. I invite you to be one of the people featured on PJC. And then most of all, I'd like to invite you to hear the chatzotzrot in this week's parsha, the trumpets that instruct us to get up, to move back together, to understand that we're heading in a particular destination. We are heading on a journey together. Mirzah Hashem, I'll see you over Shabbat. Mirzah Hashem, we'll daven together next Shabbat if we can. And please God, we will continue to move in the right direction. We will continue to travel together. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.